everybody. Welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and man, what an exciting week. You had Microsoft, you had Meta, you had Amazon, Apple, a lot of major volatility last week, particularly the tail end of that week, Wednesday session, with just really fallout and people wondering what's going to happen with big tech and AI. Don't know. The trend still overall is intact for these markets to the upside, but a lot of volatility with earnings. Now, this week, we don't have the same amount of colossal earnings names. We have something possibly even more important, and that, of course, is our elections. Now, I know many of you are probably thinking, I don't care, I don't like this candidate, I don't like that candidate. Whatever your political views are, that's your choice. Just please make sure that you go out there and you vote. Make your voice heard. If you don't vote, you got no reason to complain about anything going forward. And let's be honest, there might be some very important initiatives on your local ballot for your city, your state, and even federal laws that you might want to vote on. So get out there and vote early. And I would say vote often, but in theory, you should only get one vote. Now, let's move on to the market-related factors, which are going to start with things like earnings. On the earnings calendar, there are a couple big names this week that you might want to pay attention to. On Monday, not really any big ones. You have Vertex Pharmaceuticals, you've got BYD Motors, Palantir, the AI darling stock, and Marriott. Moving on to Tuesday, you've got Apollo Global Management, Thomson Reuters, EMR, that's Emerson Electric, and MPC or Marathon Petroleum. On Wednesday, some familiar names, Novo Novartis, Toyota Motors, Qualcomm, ARM, Gilead Pharmaceuticals, and CVS. Thursday brings you Arista Networks, Airbnb, Duke Energy, Motorola Solutions, and The Trade Desk. And finally on Friday, Baxter International, NRG Energy, and finally you have Trump Media with DJT. That will be an exciting and interesting one. Been on a really wild roller coaster over the past few weeks. Huge moves up, big moves down. Expect that volatility to continue through the election, and after the election, maybe even more volatility. Now, this week is an interesting one. Of course, all eyes will be on the U.S. central banks, which we'll talk about here in just a second. But we have international banks as well, two of them to be precise, which are going to be giving us some rate announcements. So let's dive into the Southern Hemisphere. You see the Reserve Bank of Australia will be coming out with a rate announcement. Right now, they are expected to stay right at 4.35%. That will be happening Monday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you are a night owl, I would expect some moves in that Australian dollar. And then we move across the pond over to England. They are currently at 5%. Expectations are they're going to drop by 25 basis points down to 4.75. And that's going to happen right at the beginning of our markets here in the U.S. Thursday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So 2.5 hours before the equity markets open, you'll get some nice moves with the British pound. So you Forex traders finally getting a little bit of excitement. And then we move on to the most important announcement of the week, which is going to be the FOMC rate statement for the U.S. That is happening Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. This is a departure from normal. It's usually always on a Wednesday. That's it, like clockwork. But this year, probably because of the election, they're going to be doing this on a Thursday, not on a Wednesday. So mark your calendars, update as necessary. At 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, that's when that rate announcement is expected to come out. Right now, there is a 93% probability of a 25 basis point cut from 5% down to 4.75. So that will be priced in if we do see that rate cut of 25 basis points. Anything outside of that could cause much more market volatility. But the real fireworks, in my opinion, are going to happen on Thursday. Shortly after that, 30 minutes after that rate statement, we get the press conference where Jerome Powell will field questions from the media, and you never know which way that's going to go. Could be extremely wild, could be very calm. Expect market volatility. So this week, what do we have? A lot of uncertainty around the elections. Please go out there and vote. Make sure you vote for the important initiatives and who you feel will do the best job for our country and for your beliefs. That said, we hope you have a fantastic trading week. That, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must Knows. We'll see you next week.